Welcome back, everybody, to what has become my diary and my new way to make new friends. All right, we're gonna make a couple of eggs here. It's so quiet today. There's just like a really soft, quiet feeling outside. You getting lizards? Or are they hiding? Are the lizards hiding today? Well, they broke, so we're gonna have cheesy eggs. Nothing like cheese, butter, and eggs. Oh my god. I'm not the biggest fan of eating on camera. Oh. But they turned out good. So for my 40th birthday, I hung out with my friend Justin, and we made Perfume together in Key West. It was so much fun, and it was exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a special little thing that's never been made before on my 40th birthday, so I could just remember and have that memory of the scents and the experience and actually where I'm at in life, which is bittersweet, but I believe in it. He was saying earlier how scents make you, like reminisce of those times, and the goal here is to remember the brand new era of turning 40. I'm nervous. What if it smells like fish? Yeah. I mean, it's not what sea kelp smells like. It smells good. I was expecting that to smell like fish. It does not. All right. That is so cool. It's pretty neat. This is so much fun. I'm so glad. Cheers!
So what you just made is called an accord.
Okay.
And what that is a blend of different fragrances coming together to create a brand new fragrance.
Okay.
With over 300 oils over here. What you've created has probably never been created before.
That's right.
So you just created
yes. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Chris. Birthday to you.
Now everybody has such a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
It's not gonna go out. So it looks like it's about to storm. It's getting windy and the clouds are really dark. And so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. And this is sort of like, as I start over, I try to go with what feels right, not necessarily what I'm ready to do, but what feels right. And this is part of my healing from the narcissistic abuse that I endured. So, sometimes I'm like, do I want to play the piano or do I want to paint? And I think I'm going to paint tonight. And I might go live. I don't know. It's weird because I want to share what I'm going through, but I paint, I sing, and I talk about my journey, right? And sometimes it just feels like I'm alone in this, but I know I'm not. There's so many people, no matter what they do and what they're passionate about, we still have a lot of the same things that we go through. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. It's kind of cloudy today, so Somebody's been eating orange berries. What are you doing? Are you looking for lizards? Look at that lizard. Do you see him yet? He's eating the flowers. Look at the lizard. Oh, she sees him now. You see the lizard? Yeah? You want to go say hi to him? Okay, hold on. No, but you're not actually going to go see him. We're going to see him from afar, okay? He's eating the red flowers. I know. There he is. Hi, Mr. Lizard. All right, it's time to pack the car and go set up the stage. Huh, Truffy? You can see my lipstick. That was from last week. What? Hey everyone, got my eyes on the road, but I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit here and update you on the first week of me being 40. It's cool, it's fun. I know that this is going to be the greatest decade yet of my life, and despite the hardships that I've been through this year, I've learned that the only way out of it is to look into the good, understand where I went wrong in my past, understand how I can improve myself, work on those things daily. And sometimes, we feel guilty. I know I find myself feeling guilty, especially as much narcissistic abuse that I endured, and being a spotlight person, I tell my therapist on and off, like, oh gosh, I always want to check in and make sure I'm not the narcissist and all this. And it's hard because, you have to be selfish in these moments when you're growing. And the silence of having to do that can feel a little strange at first. But for me, there's so many people that are in my life, despite all the people that are not in my life right now that I thought would be. I have so many people in my life that support me and I support them, and there's that mutual love and understanding. And that's so important. And it's not about material and physical. I know that a lot of people out there that are incapable of understanding the true value of being a human being, which is empathy and having the ability to have compassion for people, including yourself. And things that I've noticed are, like, some of the people that my relationships no longer are with are people that maybe they only had compassion for people if they had like physical pain, not mental pain, not heartbreak, but physical pain. These are the people that are like, just get over it, and don't get me wrong. I think that it's really important to get over it. I think that it's important but the thing is, if you just get over it, you just keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. And so for me, this meant really understanding why I collected certain people into my life and what I can do to change myself, understand my own patterns. And I noticed some of these people were very inconsiderate when it came to emotions. And I never expected anybody to fix my problems. I never expected anybody to, go and scream at somebody else for me or anything like that. I just needed to hear these 3 things. I love you. You're safe and I understand. And I believe you. Those 3 things are all I needed. And I didn't necessarily get that from certain people that I thought that I would. So I had to lean into myself. And I think that it's a great lesson. I also think that it's important that we realize you should never isolate yourself completely. So I learned to lean into people who had been in my shoes before in situations in life. And obviously some of these other people that didn't understand had never been there before, or they think they have, or they're also a narcissist and or incapable of having any empathy. So that's one thing that I noticed, which was very interesting to me. I also noticed that some of the people that fell out of my life were more interested in material items, in money, in things that they would hold above. They would hold this above people and their emotions and their well-being and safety. They would, it's like kind of talking to a wall, and all they would think about is material items. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad to want material items and money. What I'm saying is that energy was all they had, where I needed the whole circle for what I want to be around and who I am. So if you notice this in any relationships or friendships or just acquaintances, just be aware of this. And it gives you an opportunity to sort of be introspective. And for me, I also learned, okay, it goes back to my core value system. I know that I'm learning lessons, and I know that not everybody's perfect and not everybody is narcissistic. But what I learned too is that maybe I attracted certain people into my life at certain times in my life because of unhealed things within myself. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm materialistic or I can't have empathy for people. And for the longest time I thought, well, if I'm attracting that type of person and I'm not that, then what does that even mean? And part of this is I have a tendency to be overly compassionate for people and lose myself in it if they need help. And I learned the balance and the difference between somebody who just needs your support and someone who is using that as an energy source and they really don't have any core values and guidance. And so that was kind of the really difficult stuff that I had to weed through and figure out. And maybe I'm a late bloomer because I really was career focused for a majority of my life, even in my teens. And so now that I'm 40, it's like, okay, now I'm learning a couple of these lessons a little bit later in life. I was talking to my Lyft driver the other night about this because she was like, oh, I thought you were in your 20s, which was a really sweet compliment. But I really, really think that I learned these lessons a little bit later, and I think that that's okay. This is my timeline, and I learned other things earlier on in life too. So I just wanted to share that with you today, and if you're going through something similar, it's going to be okay. This silence and this rebirth and this growth is new, and I'm embracing it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So tonight I have a show at La Di Da, and I'm going to be playing the next 2 nights, and then I added Wednesdays at the Bull, which is really fun and exciting. I did just this last Wednesday, and I was so shocked. It was pretty slow in Key West, but we had a pretty good crowd, and it's a huge venue, so it's a lot of space to fill, and we had a blast. It was so cool to actually sing on Duval and Caroline, which, if you know my song Duval Street, I have a line in there about Duval and Caroline because that's where I met the person I wrote the song about. And it was really neat for me to have that. And there were so many familiar faces and there were new faces, and it's a completely different type of audience there versus at my other venue. So it's really cool to have that difference. And I missed that. I think that I've missed that. And I think that it's a really good addition to my schedule. So if you are ever in Key West and you want to see the show, you can come to the Bull on Wednesdays or Friday, Saturday at La Di Da. Both are on Duval Street. So, all right, you guys, back to the video. Hi, Truffles. How you doing, little girl? Hi. How you doing, sweetheart? Okay, so my show just ended, and I'm getting a little pool time in. Truffles is getting a little outside time in before the next storm hits, because there's another storm coming. And so we're just out here enjoying ourselves with the moonlight. You can see a little bit there. We had a great show tonight, honestly. It started with me singing to an empty room, and it ended with Just the best audience ever. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder off in the distance. It's okay, Truffles. She's really scared of thunder. It's okay, Doot. Yeah. I call her Doot because when she walks, it looks like doot, 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 doot. Anyway, the audience tonight was amazing, and I am so grateful. So, yeah. Anyway, we're just out here getting a little outside time and enjoying ourselves before the next set of storms comes in. It's supposed to like rain for the next 2 days, honestly. So just enjoying this moment. Good girl, Truffles. Good job. Whoa. Come on. Good girl. Storms are brewing. Look how dark that sky is. I think even the lizards are trying to figure out where to go, what to do. Aren't ya? You better get going. You're not coming over here, I'll tell you that. Oh boy. It might be time to go inside. Okay, I just got home after my show. This is my favorite part of my night, when Truffles hears me. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, baby girl. Hi, were you upstairs sleeping? Hi. Hi, Truffles. Okay, look how tiny. No frogs for you, Truffles. Oh, so cute. Oh, but this is not the kind of water you want, buddy. But you're so cute. Oh, okay. Stay right there. Because we don't... Truffles, no frogs. Truffles, Marie? No, he's too big. Come here. Come here. Truffles, come here. Come here. Come here. We were just picking up our paychecks and looking at places. So it's a hot August day, that's for sure. How you doing, little girl? You ready to go see lizards again? My. We have just been driving around today, looking at places that we might want to rent. There's the cemetery. Everybody's above ground here. It's like New Orleans because of the flooding being at sea level. Anyway, there's White Street Pier. And it is a beautiful day. That it is. But as you can see, there's just not a lot of cars out on the road, which is kind of nice. This is our slow season, or our slower season, should I say. There's out that way. I think another thing I've noticed about Key West is a lot of people used to want to do anything to stay here because it was Key West, right? And a lot of landlords got away with renting out really dumpy places. And I think just over the course of time, and then the quality of living, if you are working, whether you're working or not, you know, to pay almost $3,000 a month for a dump is just not okay, you know. And a lot of these landlords, not all, but a lot of them got away with doing this for many years, especially after Hurricane Irma, when, you know, people's homes were destroyed and they had nowhere to go. And so they were sort of forced to take what was the cheapest, right? And because of when our people come in that help after hurricanes, their budgets, I know FEMA specifically, their budget was, you know, around $10,000 to $15,000 a month to rent a place. So a lot of the people who came down to help, for honestly, a lot of the cleanup lasted for a very long time, years. And, you know, they would bring in trailers, and they would also, you know, rent out the market, and it would cause the market to go up. And when you have people who are recovering from an emergency situation, those are the types of things that push us out of Key West. And I am fortunate to be an artist, so I can paint and sing. I can only sing so much though. And as an entrepreneurial mind, I'm always, you know, trying to not find excuses for not being able to afford certain things. But, you know, now that I'm 40, you know, I really I don't require much. I never really been a big materialistic person, but I do go based on vibes and how certain spaces make me feel. And a lot of these spaces that people are renting out for insane amounts of money, you know, there's no laundry facilities, there's, you know, really, it's dumpy. And when I say dumpy, I'm a country girl, and I don't require fancy. In fact, I like properties that have a little character to them more than I like brand new properties. That's just how I roll. And so, sorry about that, I'm parking and my car's talking. But, you know, it's really interesting to me how they think that it's okay to just not repair certain things. And I know in my past I've had good and bad landlords. And then of course, after owning a home down here in the Florida Keys, it also gave me a new perspective. And a lot of times when people don't outright own a property, they're still required to have insurance policies. And the insurance, like I mentioned earlier, the premiums have gone up so high, it's made it very difficult for certain people to afford certain things, and that includes their home. So they have to raise the rent. And I will say, as someone who used to have a mortgage just recently, up until a few weeks ago, I can confirm that the property taxes and the insurance premiums are high, and they go up unpredictably. And so this has caused me to actually be very weary of buying another property in the Keys because of that alone. To know that you could be pushed out of your living situation, or even if you're buying an investment property, because the insurance premiums go up so quickly and so high, that's scary to me. You know, I always want to be able to know that I can not only afford the situation, but make it work, even if it's a business thing. So I do have compassion for some of these people, but there's a lot of places that I know are outright owned, and they are still trying to gouge people, and they're acting like it's 2021's economy, and it is not. And a lot of these properties need updating just for basic safety. So, you know, it's pretty incredible to look around. I'll show you guys right here a map of the rentals. Let's go. This is $3,500 a month and below. That's what's available, and you guys can look this stuff up. And then if you look at the what's for sale, I'll put that up right now, and you can see all the properties. Listen, in 2021, there was hardly anything on the market, and now people are trying to sell, and they're acting like it's 2021, 2022's economy. It is not. It is not, and for many reasons, but it's just not. So I think that people need to bring themselves back to the reality of what people have to spend, and hopefully we can balance this out. My dream has always been to have like a place in the country and a place here in Key West. And while that's a really big dream and a pretty big goal, I think it's important because I want to go and celebrate the seasons and do, you know, Halloween things and Thanksgiving things and Christmas things in an environment that sort of, it feels cozy and kind of cold outside. But I want to come back to my home base, which is Key West. So anyway, a little bit about what we're up to right now. And I think today I'm going to do some painting, and I'm probably going to lean into trying to write a couple of new songs or finish up some new songs that I know when I go to the Annapolis Songwriters Festival, which is coming up pretty soon in September, I'll have a couple of new tunes that I can sing. People always like to hear, you know, Duval Street and my song Gypsies and things like that, but I would love to give them a couple of new ones. So that's what we're working on right now. Truffles is working on being Truffles, perfectly so. All right, see you later. We have had so much rain lately, and now the humidity's down and we have blue skies. But I know what that means. Did we get a little package? What do you think it is? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hmm? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Woo-hoo! Are you my best friend? Yeah? Are you my buddy? Can you say, hello, Truffles? Hello? Hello? Say bye-bye. Thanks for watching, everyone, and for your support. I'll be back very soon with another video.